right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the campus of the Highland Park Scots as they take on the McKinney Lions tonight at this home matchup. They come into the game 4-2 after dropping a heartbreaker, 5 points at last game out. It was a tough one to come off of Hebron losing that one, and they'll face McKinney Lions as they come off losing a four-game winning streak was finally snapped against the Colony as they come out with a lot of momentum after winning the Northwest tournament over in Justin.
Yeah, that should be a good matchup, Jackson. One of the things about that Hebron game, the Scots really led the whole time and just kind of went stale in the fourth quarter and let it slip away. And really unfortunate because they had really played great for about 3.5 quarters, and then all of a sudden they went cold, and here came the Hawks. So this is a big test. This is a great game last year, another overtime game for the Scots and the Lions.
Lions will win the tip, and they will take over first, driving in now, trying to find a man is Walters. Walters able to get it back up top. He gets it over to Vincent. Devin Vincent, the 6'2 guard. Now over to Lucas Venezuela. And then Namikwa gets it in the corner, and he gets it to go for three.
Yeah, that's a nice little set offense right there. Got an open look in the corner.
Worthy Wiles now with it in transition, gets it over to the corner with Hager. First one unable to go. Good offensive rebound by Carew.
Hager hit 7 threes the other day, Jackson, and was just red hot.
Hager, one of the hot hands on the team, averaging nearly 15 points a game. This drive's going to come in by Carew, but it's going to be a penalty called against Carew, his first of the game.
Yeah, that's a good take to the rim, but great defensive position that time by the Lions as they were able to get the charge call. So Scott's a little stagnant there in that first possession of the evening.
Scots really need to take care of the ball this game. Last game against Hebron, you talked about it, they were up by 15 halfway through the third. 23 turnovers in that game as they end up dropping that by 5. Ended up shooting well from three, 44% from three, as this turnover is picked up by Jack Pease. Pease gets it over to Carew in transition. This one will fall.
Boy, nice play by Jack Pease to get that steal. Those quick hands come through again with a nice 2-on-1. Here it goes again.
Pease with another steal. This time takes it up himself, gets the layup to go.
Yeah, that's a good job by just reacting to what the defense gives you right there. Defense sagged a little bit. He took it to the rim.
Already 2 steals here early part of the first quarter. A good block that time by Carew. Able to get a hand on the shot that time sent up by Jacoby Walters. Scots now with their first true offensive possession of the game as they've already got 4 points off of transition. This one gets over to Worthy Wiles, looking with that clean shave after getting rid of the beard. Carew hikes that one up from 3, gets a high bounce off the rim, but it's going to be rebounded by the Lions.
Yeah, Worthy probably had to do a little Thanksgiving trim there to get him cleaned up for pictures. There's a nice job by Lake Needleman to draw that charge, and that's a great way to stop offensive pressure down the lane, that's for sure.
Devin Vincent will pick up his first of the game. 4-3, Highland Park leads this one, 6:08 remaining in the first. Quickly working up in transition, gets it to Wiles, over to Hager down low, and he gets the basket to go.
Nice pass again by Wiles along the baseline, giving it to Hager, and Hager finding room on the rim.
All 6 baskets by the Scots in transition. This one driving in low is Vincent. Vincent gets a long pass out for a deep 3 that doesn't go to Anna McQuay. This one in transition, Carew in the corner. It will fall, but it will be a charge penalty that time drawn, and that one will go against Jack Pease.
That's one thing that Jack really needs to work on, just being under control a little bit. As the more games he plays, those opponents are going to look at film. They're going to see how fast he can get to the rim, and they're going to be in there trying to draw some charges to slow him down a little bit.
Jacoby Walters with a clean crossover, able to get the 3 to go, his first of the game. The 6'4 freshman with the long limbs able to get that to fall, tying the game up 6-6. Highland Park now in transition.
Yeah, Walter looked pretty smooth with that one.
And you and I talked about this pregame. A couple freshmen here on the team for the Lions. And then you said it, anytime a freshman makes a varsity team, you know they've got a lot of talent.
They really do. They're going to be a real asset to your team. Otherwise, they let them play down there. You don't put a freshman on the varsity and not playing.
Driving in for the layup that time. Nice. Gets the easy floater to go. Lake Needleman gets his second in the scoring. 4 baskets, 4 different players for the Scots.
Yeah, all getting to the rim.
Driving with it now are the Lions. Good dish off that time to Thomas Moses. He gets his first 2 of the game.
Yeah, both teams having easy time getting to the paint right now. They can just avoid the charges. Be a little bit under control.
Both teams having some early substitutes waiting to come into the game. Carew gets it in the corner. He will drive, gets it out up top to Needleman. Needleman will slow it back up to the logo. Worthy Wiles with it. Goes off the screen, asks for another. This one's going to be a fake pass as he'll drive baseline over to Hager. Hager gets it to Pease. Pease over to Carew in the corner, jacks up the 3, and it's going to rim out. That time rebounded by number 33, Thomas Moses.
Yeah, another good look. Good ball moving there by the Scots. Get that open 3.
Working with it now is number 2, Lucas Valenzuela, but trying to find an open line. It goes out of place. We'll see some substitutions come in. Cannon Thornhill will enter the game, as well as this tall sophomore, Luke Hardenberg. Hardenberg having himself a good season off the bench as an underclassman. 6 points a game, almost 5 rebounds a game.
Yeah, he's been great in this early going. I think Hardenberg has really showed that he belongs at any key moment there for the Scots. They show that 2-3 zone now. Try to take some of that inside play away from the Lions.
Jacoby Walters with it up top. Nearly picked off that time by Wiles, but unable to control the pass inside that time was Jacoby Campbell. Looks like it's going to be a jump ball called. It will go to the Scots, but a full court pressure now by the Lions. Inbounded to Jack Pease.
Yeah, this is more about what I expected, that full court, man-your-face, man-to-man defense that we've come to see from the Lions.
Hager with the long 3 attempt. That's unable to go. Again, Hager averaging about 15 points a game. This one is steal by Thornhill. He goes up for the layup. Off the glass a little bit early that time on the rebound attempt was Hardenberg. This one's going to be picked up by Jack Pease. Jacob Hager with the long 3 attempt. It's going to rim out. And rebounded by Thornhill. Back out to Worthy Wiles, and he gets it to go.
Nice find there by Thornhill to get Worthy on the perimeter for the 3.
Now 5 different Scots are finding the bottom of the rim. Campbell working with it now, gets it baseline, back up to Campbell with the 3. Front rim, but an offensive rebound that time by McClure. And back up to Campbell. Campbell over to Walters. Walters has a man down low, just an easy find that time as it was Thatcher McClure able to get the 2.
Yeah, that was a very patient set there by the Lions. They really took their time, got the open look.
Jack Pease gets the pass by Hardenberg over to Wiles in the corner. Not a lot of control with it that time. A one-handed pass. That's going to be picked off by Jacoby Walters.
Boy, he really overplayed that baseline pass that time.
Walters throws up a long 3 but doesn't get the friendly roll.
The old toilet bowl doesn't go for him.
Jack Pease with a long 3 that time. He can't get the roll either, but able to get the offensive rebound is Worthy Wiles. Now with the offensive rebound is Cannon Thornhill. Good rebounding being shown by this Scott team here early as we're under 2 minutes. 11-10. Highland Park still leads this one, but by slim margin. As Cannon Thornhill with it now over to Hardenberg. Very quickly had Worthy Wiles, but that was shut down by the Lions. Good defense now. Quick back and forth. Corner 3 thrown up by Thornhill, but it's going to hit short rim and bounce out. This one's going to be brought in by the Lions, nearing minute 15 remaining. Great pass down low that time, and able to get it to fall to the Lions. Hardenberg with it now in transition. Can't find Thornhill cutting. Lane was closed early, so Jack Pease with it under a minute now. Lions lead this one by 1. Worthy Wiles slowing it up at the top of the key. Tries to go one-on-one, shakes it off now. Hardenberg with it. Hardenberg not taking the screen, driving down low. A foul's going to be called. Looks like that time they're going to call it on Jacoby Campbell.
Again, a nice patient possession by the Scots there. This is in the frantic pace that we've come to expect from these two teams when they've gotten together. A little more methodical. Scots showing that 2-3 zone, kind of slowing the pace down a little bit. So we'll see how if that turns out to be the game plan here. Both teams kind of slowing you down a little bit.
Christopher Peters and Michael Agnes subbing into the game. Thornhill gets his own offensive rebound, but tries to make a pass down low. He's going to get batted out. This one, Lions in transition. Campbell takes the long three. No good. Nearly an offensive rebound, but Hardenberg's going to take it. Less than 30 seconds now remaining on the clock. Luke Hardenberg around the half-court line gets fouled, and they're going to call it Eze Ukajai.
Yeah, that's that tight man defense that the Lions have a reputation, at least when they play Highland Park. They certainly get in your face a little bit.
With it now, Cannon Thornhill will bring it up. The senior averaging 2.5 points a game. Gets it over to Michael Agnes. Agnes up to Worthy Wiles. Less than 10 seconds on the clock, now 5. Wiles trying to drive the lane. Foul is going to be called with 3.8 remaining. They'll go to the baseline.
I think it's Ukaji again, 25. Let's see. That'll be his second in about the last 15 seconds. So Scott's starting to pile up those fouls. That's a 14th foul on the Lions here tonight.
Michael Agnes will inbound. Looks like Coach Peeler's going to call a coaching timeout. He's trying to figure out why the inbounds is at the baseline and not up here on the half court to the side. It's a good argument because that was where the foul took place. So I think they're going to say that's where the ball ended up going out of bounds, was at the baseline.
Yeah, I think so, and or at least that's where, I don't know. That's a hard argument to make, and it probably could have been halfway either way. But again, this is a little bit slower pace than we saw last year when these two teams played. And again, both teams trying to take away that transition basket. Defense has set up that offense for really both teams as they've really tried to push it when they've had a chance.
(12-11) Highland Park trails in this one to the McKinney Lions. 3.8 remaining on the clock. We'll have to get a quick. Now Worthy Wiles, a great inbound. Tries to get his own offensive rebound, but the second attempt is no good. And so after the 2 attempts, Highland Park will go into the first quarter. They trail by 1. But with both teams, we're seeing the love is being spread all over the court. No player on either team has more than 1 basket.
Yeah, that's great. That's good depth for everybody. Everybody sharing the ball. It shows a lot of teamwork there, and a lot of subs early too. I think with about 10 players that played already on both teams. So you love to see that. And again, a little bit slower pace. So we'll see how much that if that changes. Scott's going into that 2-3 zone to really kind of pack it in as the Lions hit them early with some early kind of layup, close-in actions around the rim. So they're trying to take that away, force that 3 ball, which they've been able to hit a couple of threes. So it's not like they were going to shy away from that.
Both of these teams coming into the game at 4-2. This is an interesting week for the Scots, as now, as unfortunately as basketball has ended, you try and rotate the football players in. They're not playing tonight, though 3 of them are on the side right now. You said you expected them to play this Friday, but that's a tough game against St. Mark's.
Yeah, it is, and they haven't practiced yet with them, obviously, and they would like to because St. Mark's is such a rival and they're a very talented team this year. So it's one of those you want to play in. You're going to play against some guys that are going to be playing a lot of ball and getting paid for it someday. So that's something they really want to target. But who knows if they'll be ready and how many minutes they'll be ready to play.
Deep 3 coming from the corner that time. That was number 13, Devin Vincent, able to get it to fall. A lot of youth on the scoring sheet right now for McKinney as we see freshman, sophomore finding the bottom of the rim. As we see the youth from the Scots. Mitchell Carew with a long 3 this time. He gets it to go. Now we finally have a player with multiple baskets in the game.
Yeah, and we've seen him kind of heat up a little bit towards the end of that tournament and also against Hebron. So it's good to see Mitchell get his stroke going.
Good defense being shown by the Scots that time. It's going to go out of play off of Scott, as it looked like it was Jacob Hager and Christopher Peters on defense down low.
Yeah, they did a good job protecting the paint. You know that was emphasized at the quarter, that we can't give up the paint, and that's what they're in that 2-3 zone to try to prevent.
Palenzuela now with it up top, looking for help from Devin Vincent, waves him off, and will take control. Now over to Vincent. Zone defense being shown by the Scots. Good rotation. Good, a block comes in. Mitchell Carew getting a hand on it. But the Lions will retain possession. Now Campbell with it. Gets it back up to Palenzuela. Thought about taking the long three that time with Anna Mako. Instead, the three will be taken by Palenzuela, but it's going to be rebounded by the sophomore Hardenberg, and he will bring it up in transition.
So, he had Hager in the corner there, and I don't know if he just didn't see him or trying to make the hero pass. Sometimes that easy pass is the one you need to make, and let Hager have a shot from the corner. So Scott stay in that 2-3 zone with the starters back on the floor. Well, Peters is on for who's he on for? That'd be on for
Worthy Wiles.
Worthy Wiles. Give Worthy a little rest there.
But he played the entire first quarter, so
yeah,
he's finally getting a little bit of rest now.
He's getting a little blow there.
As this one will be an offensive rebound by Peters. He will bring it down. He's averaging over 3 rebounds a game. Hardenberg with the long three this time. It's going to hit short front rim as he had a clean look that time, but unable to get the fall as he is still yet to find the score sheet.
Yeah, Hager's been hot, and this he just keeps shooting. He's got to have that good mentality. He's got to go. You got to keep shooting. You're one of the best shooters on the team.
Mitchell Carew in on a fence. It's going to go off the hand of Hager. It's going to stay with the Lions. Fortunately, goes off the hand, hits the back of the backboard, and so he'll go out of play.
Yeah, deflection, good defense there. Get your hands on a pass trying to throw that skip pass.
Good job getting his hand in the way that time with Jack Pease. Unable to get his third steal of the game. Is this going to be brought in by the Lions? Good defense, or good job getting back on the ball that time was Vincent. After the long three, able to get his own rebound that time is Anamako. Far quarter now is Palenzuela as he gets the three to go.
He gets one to call. Yeah, that was a good, again, just kind of a scramble and good ball rotation as it turned out there for the Lions, and they got an open look. Palenzuela knocking it down.
That'll be his first baskets of the game. Good fake that time by Jack Pease. He drives in, has a floater, able to get it to fall.
Yeah, nice drive and kind of faked the pass, drew the defense to Hager, and opened up just enough room in the paint for him.
Very long three that time by Jacoby Walters, and it will fall. He has 2 threes in on this one.
Yeah, that was a deep three, and that was way downtown, and he was able to knock it home.
The 6'4 freshman has the size, showing the range that time. Scott's now in on offense. Mitchell Carew will throw up a three of his own, but it's going to fall short. Battling for it that time was Christopher Peters, but unable to come up with it as the Lions will take it in transition. Open three taken in the corner. It's going to be no good. Rebounded that time by Jacob Hager.
Yeah, that's great defense there. Close out strong on the shooter.
Carew instead taking a three. Will drive baseline. Good pass off that time to Peters, but it's not going to fall. And that's going to be picked up on defense that time. Thomas Moses.
Yeah, Scots have missed some really close-in point-blank shots already in this game, Jackson.
21-16. McKinney leads this one over Highland Park. 4:05 remaining in the second quarter. Devin Vincent working it up top with Jacoby Walters. This one's going to be a long three taken by Palenzuela, but it's going to be an offensive rebound by Moses. Moses now with the long two, unable to get it to go. That one's going to be rebounded by Lake Needleman. Needleman gets it over to Hager. Back to Needleman. Has Mitchell Carew in the corner as we await Worthy Wiles in as a sub. Working it back to the near side corner. Now back to Hager with the three. That's good to go.
There you go.
He now has 5 in the game.
That's a nice shot. I'd love to see him just keep shooting.
After the drive in, this one's good rebound that time by Christopher Peters. As Jack Pease had an open three, decided not to take it. Gets it over to Mitchell Carew, who gets it back to Pease. Driving, puts up the floater. It's just going to rim out.
Boy, a lot of contact that time in the paint, and Pease doesn't get the call, doesn't get the roll.
Long three that time taken off the good passing by the Lions. It's not going to fall for Anamako. Rebound in by Hager. Long three taken that time by Needleman. Had to wait to see when it was going to be called. He was close to the line, but Needleman now has 5 in the game.
That was a real sweet motion there. He kind of caught it and shot it all in one nice, smooth motion and didn't have a lot of arc on it and kind of banged it home. So nice shot there by Lake, and the Scots jumped to their lead. So been kind of really tight the whole way, and Scots have a 22-21 lead here just inside of 3 minutes to go here at half.
6-0 run being put up in the last 45 seconds by the Scots, and a lot of it came on the defensive end. They didn't get the fast break that they had to start this game, but a good job locking down on defense and then kind of slowing the pace down as they move down the court. But we look, Lake Needleman's having himself a good game. He's already hit his season average of points as he's got 5 here in this one.
Yeah, and they've really done a good job on the defensive glass, too, keeping the Lions off that offensive rebounding, and they've been hitting it pretty hard, and that sets up so much stuff that Scots can run off of a defensive rebound and push it a little bit quicker. And they've had some guys, Christopher Peters had some great minutes there inside, spelling Worthy Wiles there. So good job by the Scots on their defensive end, I think.
All the starters now back on the court, staying with the 2-3 zone. Typically the starters go with a little bit more man-to-man, but staying with the zone right now is Coach Peeler, as it was working during that last little bit of a break for the Scots and still unable to get it to get inside the three-point line, forcing a travel call that time, as that will go against Jacoby Walters. So it'll be Scots ball, Mitchell Carew to inbound.
Yeah, still good ball pressure, which is one of the emphasis with Coach Peeler and Coach Snowden on that 2-3 zone. You always want to have ball pressure, and good job by Needleman to really kind of force that turnover.
Jack Pease nearly losing the ball. Good defense that time by Walters. Mitchell Carew with it, gets it over to Needleman. Now over to Hager. Hager back to Needleman, looking for a screen. Needleman driving in low. Is going to get fouled, as this will be the first free throws taken now by either team.
I'll take it, but it sure looked like a lot of ball that time.
It did, but
good take to the rim.
Not the refs.
Yeah, good take to the rim. That's the 5th team foul. Scots have only committed 2 here in the first half.
Needleman, a strong free throw shooter, averaging 70% on the year as he makes the front end. Now 6 points in the game for the senior. Back end is good as well. 7 points for Needleman as we hit near the 2-minute mark here left in the second quarter. The Scots 24-21. They are leading this one as they have come on a pretty good run here in the second quarter. A lot of it's been on the backs of this defense, able to shut down the Lions here lately. Though they are able to get in close, unable to get that one to fall that time was Devin Vincent. Scott's working in transition, gets a good pass down low to Worthy Wiles. He gets it to fall.
Yeah, that was set up. Great defense, good nice rebound, a little long rebound after a rare offensive rebound for the Lions. And Scots were able to push it, and Worthy Wiles with the finish.
Wiles been a little bit quiet tonight, scoring. He now has 5 in the game. Knocked out a rare three-pointer, as he is typically not the deep threat for this Scots team, but good to see him able to find the range. Great pass down low that time to Vincent, but it's going to pop out to Jacoby Walters, and he's going to miss. Now Jack Pease trying to get it in transition. Good spin move down low off the glass, unable to get the fall. Nearly got his own rebound that time, but it's picked up by J.J. Shepard.
Boy, he got a good job of getting to the rim. Just couldn't quite finish.
Carew gets his hand in low. Looks like that's going to be Hardenberg in for Carew. He's going to get a little bit of a talk down by Peeler as he gets to the bench.
Yeah, you can kind of see as this season's unfolded that Luke Hardenberg's kind of developing in that 6th man in this group, and at least with this rotation the way it is now. There's Worthy with a nice board again.
Off the inbound, a long three thrown up by Walters. No look pass coming in now for the Scots. Unable to get to go. Nearly picked off by Walters. Needleman in the corner, unable to get it to fall. But he gets the offensive rebound. Good job getting his hand up in the lane that time was McClure. As it's going to be Lions now trying to get it down low is the young freshman in Jacoby Campbell, but he's unable to get it to fall.
Yeah, again, good defense then by the Scots. Again, just pressuring the ball and forcing an errant shot.
20 seconds remaining. Jack Pease with it as this one gets worked over to Needleman. Back up to Wiles. 15 seconds now on the clock. Jack Pease had a lane, is taking it slow as he's guarded very closely by Jacoby Campbell.
We're going to get a 5-second call. Coach Peeler wants a foul. Nice little hand check going on there, but man, those are hard to get those calls sometimes, and Jack needs to recognize that count and get rid of the ball. But that's an unfortunate last possession. Scott's trying to get the last shot.
5.5 remaining on the clock. Jacoby Campbell has it 1 second, needs to get it up. Long three has taken that time by Jacoby Walters, but it's not going to fall. And so that will be the end of the first half. Highland Park will lead this one 26-21, but a lot of good things being shown by the Scots defensively there in the second quarter. But Coach Clark, going into halftime, what's your message if you're Coach Peeler trying to get this squad? They've had some opportunities to have an extended lead. Now they have it up to 5, their largest of the game, but they're not quite playing up to what we saw earlier in the year.
Well, they're missing a lot of close shots. I think their defense has been great. You told me we're going to hold them to 21 points in the first half. I'd be very tickled. But they really have missed a lot of close-in shots. The three is not really the answer right now, and the Scots have really taken advantage of their defense to force their offense. And I think they're doing a good job of transitioning well. They're doing a great job on the defensive glass, I think. So that needs to be something that they stick with as much as they can. So overall, though, I think Coach has got to be pretty happy. Just keep up the effort and try to make some more of your shots. I think it's a lot easier to look better when you're making shots, that's for sure.
As we head into halftime, only the starters able to find the score sheet thus far. Leading scorer is Lake Needleman as we go. He has 7 into the half. Also the only player in this game to attempt a free throw as he is 2 for 2. But this game brought to you by Game On Sports with Coach Clark. I'm Jackson Donovan. We will take a break for halftime, but we will be back in about 8.5 minutes to bring you the second half of action between the Highland Park Scots and the McKinney High Lions. We are under a minute away from the start of the second half here at Highland Park as they take on the McKinney Lions. When you take a look at this McKinney squad, a lot more youth than what this Highland Park team has seen. As we see, leading scorer Jacoby Walters is a freshman, a lot of range, 6'4" freshman that McKinney's trotting out there. And then we've also seen Jacoby Campbell, 5'8" freshman, getting a lot of action there in the first half.
Yeah, it really is a young team. When you look down the roster, you see a lot of freshmen and sophomores, and then you turn around and you see them on the floor. So it's not like they're just over there sitting and getting some varsity experience in practice. These guys are playing. I mentioned that earlier. As a coach, you don't want to put a freshman on the varsity if you're not going to play him. I mean, he can get a lot more playing time on your JV or to get ready to play. So these guys are talented, and they got a really bright future.
Highland Park will start the second half as a very quick long three in by Jacob Hager. It's going to be rebounded, though, that time by Devin Vincent, another sophomore here on the roster. And very quickly in transition, had a three look that time was Lucas Palazuela. Decides not to take it. This one's going to go out of bounds. We'll stay with McKinney. Now, if you're a coaching staff and you're facing McKinney and you see that much youth on this team, what is your mindset knowing you're probably not going to have a lot of tape on your opponent?
Yeah, that's true, and I think one thing I would be thinking about is just to make them be patient. Sometimes they're trying to do too much out there, impress coaches, whatever, and I think that has a lot to do with the Scots going to this zone, forcing them to be disciplined, to not turn the ball over, and to make them pass the ball around a little bit.
Long possession taken by the Lions. Finally gets a pass in low. Thomas Moses. He now has 4 points in this one.
That was a great possession there by the Lions.
Mitchell Carew gets a long three. He now has 8 in the game. He leads scorers on either side.
Yeah, we knew it was a matter of time before he started heating up. He was off to a little bit of a cold start, but he certainly has got it going now.
And after the almost minute-long possession that time by the Lions, less than 10 seconds, and the Scots get 3 on the board. And a travel is going to be called against Jacoby Walters.
And there again, that you're just trying to be patient and cause a little turnover like that from the freshman, and again, just little minor things. That's unforced error really, and that's something you want to do. You want to make them think about it by passing the ball around a lot.
Jack Pease, the junior, averaging 15.5 points a game, bringing it up. He actually leads the team in scoring. Good pass down low to Worthy Wiles. Great block that time as it was a sophomore, Anna Mako, getting a hand on the ball.
Yeah, what a great job of getting off the floor and making a nice block on Worthy Wiles. He doesn't get his shot blocked very often down there.
This one batted out of play. It's going to be inbounded by Palazuela. Now with it up top is Anna Mako. Strangely picks up his dribble for no reason as he now gets it back.
He did it again.
And a third travel here is going to be called. I think he tried to take a little stutter step that time was Anna Mako, but is going to go against the Lions.
Yeah, that was, again, just trying to do too much and just keep your feet still and make a good solid pass. And Scott's got 2 turnovers, almost the exact same spot. Now they're picking up the pressure in the backcourt. Like this, if I'm the McKinney Lions, this is going to help you.
Lake Needleman with it at the logo. Not much space behind him to the half court. Gets it over to Jack Pease. Shakes off a screen by Hager. Gets it over to Mitchell Carew. Carew down low. Great pass to Worthy Wiles. Lays it off the glass. Give him 7 in the game.
Such a great little slip screen play that Coach Peeler's got. And, again, great job by Carew finding Worthy Wiles on that one.
Working with it now are the Lions. Good Euro step down low as that one's going to be a foul. Shot went up by Devin Vincent, but the foul is going to be called on Mitchell Carew, his 2nd of the game.
Yeah, that looked like a lot of ball too, Jackson. We said that earlier, but, they're just going to – some of those things are almost automatic foul calls, a little body or whatever, but that looked like a lot of ball for Mitchell.
First free throw attempt is no good. Not a lot of fouls being called here in this one. As, in fact, this is actually only the 2nd time a player has gone to the line. 1 for the Scots now with the Lions getting this attempt, as the first one was no good by Devin Vincent. And the second one is good after a little bit of heckling from the student section of the Scots.
Yep, making a little noise over there. Love it.
Three goes up that time by Needleman, unable to get it to go, hits off the front of the rim. In transition now, great stutter step that time was Devin Vincent. He gets it to fall, give him 6 in the game.
Boy, nice job of getting to the rim by Vincent that time. Went all the way coast to coast and was able to finish it off strong. Back to within 5.
31-26, Highland Park leads this one. 5:41 remaining in the third quarter. This one gets worked over to Jack Pease, has a screen by Worthy Wiles, tries to get him on the pick and roll. Unable to go. Jack Pease able to retain possession. A lot of minutes going to the freshman Jacoby Campbell as he is guarding Jack Pease very closely. This one gets worked over to Needleman. He tries to drive in, gets it off to Pease. He throws up the 3, back rims it out, but Mitchell Carew almost had the offensive rebound, but it's going to be picked up by Campbell. Now in transition are the Lions. Triple coverage that time. Shot gets thrown up by Jacoby Walters. I think he was looking for the foul that time, but it wasn't called, and Highland Park now with possession. Mitchell Carew throws up the 3, high bounce off the rim. It's going to be no good, and a foul is going to be called on Worthy Wiles.
Yeah, I think so. Well, McClure made a nice pass from the right side of the lane to the left side, and it was right in line where we are, and there's a small window there. Unfortunately, the Lions could not finish that play, but it's a nice pass there by McClure to get the opportunity.
J.J. Shepard will sub into the game for Jacoby Walters. Worthy Wiles, I think that time just getting a little bit too much arm trying to go for the jump ball, but it will end up being a foul call on him, his first of the game.
Oh, nice anticipation by Lake.
Good job that time. Needleman trying to pick off the pass, but a long 3 thrown in from the corner. Flat shot that time. It's going to go off the rim. No good. Getting a hand on the shot that time was Mitchell Carew, but J.J. Shepard now back with it.
Scots did a great job in the first half on those, keeping the Lions off the boards, and they've just given 2 extra opportunities, and now maybe a third here as they are unable to secure the ball on the defensive end.
5:08 remaining in the third quarter. Highland Park leads 31-26. Lions inbounding as this one has gotten out to J.J. Shepard. Campbell works it now up to Devin Vincent. Trying to drive in the lane. Mitchell Carew gets the interception.
Well, he traveled.
But
he took a little extra step.
Travels.
Kind of see that one right there. He kind of shuffled his feet a little bit, trying to control the ball. But good job defensively. Good job for the Scots. And, again, they're using that good defense to really set up their offense in transition.
4:45 remaining in the third. Scots still hold on to a 5-point lead. Errant pass that time, trying to go way up top to Anamako.
I don't know that he could get up and get that one. That one looked like it was off the banners up on the top of the wall back there, so a little bit too high to handle.
Sean Fry subbing into the game as he will come in for the sophomore Devin Vincent. Jack Pease now with it as he will start up the Scots offense. Over to Mitchell Carew. Waves off the screen by Hager. Now over to Lake Needleman. Needleman gets a screen from Hager. Has a man driving down low, and Jack Pease gets it out to Worthy Wiles for the 3. And just off the side rim and out. Good battle that time down low by Jack Pease. Unable to come up with the rebound, though.
Yeah, another good set by the Scots to get a nice look. Worthy from the top of the key. That's his shot from up there and unable to convert. So Coach Watson over there for the Lions, Jackson, is trying to get his guys to really get up in the grill of the Scots. Look at that. He's encouraging them to play a little tougher man-to-man defense here and try to wear the Scots down here with about a quarter and a half to go. You see if that can take its toll on the Scots towards the end of this one.
Hardenberg and Thornhill subbing into the game.
Little mock cheering that time from Coach Peeler. Has finally got a hand check, which is he's been asking for about a quarter and a half.
This one inbounded to Mitchell Carew. Very close to the half-court line. Dangerous, but a great drive into Hager. And Hager able to get it off the board. 7 for him in the game.
They got so many plays off that back cut now that just everything is set differently, and it's really the same motion, same way to get that, and Hager was able to finish inside.
Scots in the 2-3 zone. They've stuck with it primarily here in this one, though we have seen them throw out the 1-3-1 zone a little bit. Still have not gone to that formation, but 2-3 zone trying to spread out this offense by the Lions, keep them out of the lane. Long three being thrown up by the freshman that time in Campbell, but it's going to be rebounded by Thornhill as he will very wisely circle back and start over the Highland Park offense.
Yeah, again, a little bit of impatience coming through for the freshman as he just got kind of frustrated and jacked one up from way outside.
Luke Hardenberg driving, has Mithakuru in the corner, extra pass that time. Offensive rebound, able to be pulled in by Worthy Wiles. He tries to go for the putback. He's going to get fouled, and it looks like he's going to go to the line for 2 free throws.
Yeah, they're going to give him 2, which is great because he was trying to eat that one in back. And nice shot, a nice ball movement again by the Scots. And Thornhill had the wide open 3 and was unable to make it, but great job by Worthy to hit that offensive glass.
First free throw is up, no good. Worthy Wiles coming into the game 64% from the free throw line as we see Jacob Hager sub out, and coming in now Christopher Peters. So you keep the size in there, and thus far in this game, Peters has definitely been a lot better down low rebounding-wise for the Scots.
Yeah, he really has, and that's kind of his role that he's assumed here is he's going to be a force on the defensive end and come up with those rebounds best he can.
Neither of Worthy Wiles' free throws able to fall. Bringing it up now is Jacoby Campbell. Campbell up top with Fry and Walters. Walters driving in low. Ends up getting his own offensive rebound. Gets knocked to the floor. This one's going to be brought up. Mitchell Carew in transition. Tries to lay it up. No good. A couple taps by Scott. Trying to circle in to get the next opportunity up that time was Christopher Peters. But it's no good. Now the Lions very quickly get another 3 thrown up, the freshman, but it's going to be brought down by Cannon Thornhill.
Yeah, there were 4 Scots in the paint on that last shot to the rim, and none of them could come up and finish it. So good job for the Scots to hit the boards, but somebody's got to finish.
Worthy Wiles takes it down low, puts a shot up, is going to get fouled. Going to get 2 more free throw attempts.
I think that's been the story of this one, Jackson, is unable to score from the paint and inside the block. They've really, both teams have been having a little trouble finishing, and I know there's a lot of contact down there, but you got to be able to finish, and Worthy's got to knock these down.
First attempt is good. That's really where we've seen Worthy Wiles get the majority of his points this season. In fact, he's averaging 14.3 a game and 8.7 rebounds, but he's only got 8 here in this one, so kind of a slow start for one of the leading scorers for this Scots team.
Yeah, he came on in that Hebron game late, too, so let's see if he wakes up here in the last quarter in 2 minutes.
And both of those free throw attempts is good as he will very quickly be subbed out. Jack Pease now coming in. So we have Pease, Thornhill, Carew, Peters, and Hardenberg on the floor for the Scots.
Still some good length here as they line up in that 2-3 zone. Thornhill's pretty good length, and of course we've seen Peters be very active over there. So this will be an interesting thing. This is probably one of those times you look at it, and Hardenberg needs to be the offensive guy. Here goes Thornhill.
Thornhill able to get the steal and in transition. His first 2 of the game, and a timeout's going to be called as Coach Watson for the Lions wants to talk it over.
Both of those guys at the top of that 2-3 really do a great job of anticipating the throw, and you kind of get predictable as some of these passes have just gone back and forth and really not looking to throw something in the paint. And a real good job there by Cannon to anticipate that cross court and able to go down and finish it with a nice layup.
Weird stat line for the Scots. In fact, that steal and bucket by Cannon Thornhill, the only non-starter for the Scots, able to get a point here in this one, which is a strange thing to see because when you look back at the Scott Classic, the game against Terrell, all but one player on the entire roster that wasn't playing football was able to score.
Yeah, that is true, and they spread it around. You know, nobody really dominates the scoring like we've seen sometimes with Riley Seabold and some of those guys that are just lighting it up with 30. So I think that's going to be the trend this year. It's going to be a new guy every game, and several guys in double figures. And as the minutes, again, this will take some sorting out when the new football guys get here a little earlier than expected. But they're going to get here, and Coach will have to work a new rotation.
Errant pass. This one's going to be picked up by Jack Pease. He'll get credit for the steal, but he'll end up coughing it back up, and Jacoby Walters gets it in transition Trying to get a quick basket thrown up that time was Devin Vincent, but it's not going to go. Jack Pease in the corner.
Yeah, that was a good call. I mean, Luke Hardenberg running down the court, really kind of out of control. Made a nice little kick out, but good job of hanging in there strong and drawing the charge.
Luke Hardenberg, his first of the game. Minute 20 remaining here in the third quarter. An 11-point lead, the largest of the game for the Scots. Good job getting their hands in the lane. Multiple players for Highland Park, but Mitchell Carew will bring this up in transition. Now over to Hardenberg, gives a spin in the lane. Passed out to Thornhill, who throws up the three. It's going to hit off the rim, but Hardenberg gets the rebound, puts it up, and is good.
That was 3 straight possessions that the Lions made just errant passes, kind of unforced turnovers at the Scots. Finally were able to capitalize on one.
Couple of Lions waiting in the wings to try and get into this one. 3 now thrown up, unable to fall. Hardenberg gets the rebound. But a foul's going to be called. I believe it's going to be a block on number 13, Devin Vincent, his second of the game.
Yeah, that could have gone either way with a shuffle of the feet for Thornhill and the foul. We'll take the foul call, but Scots have really stretched this lead out as McKinney's only scored 5 points in this quarter, and it's 39-26 with 30 seconds really to go in the third quarter.
Highland Park with it. 30 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. They lead by 13. Again, this was a 5-point game at the end of the first half. Thornhill with it, gets it over to Christopher Peters. Now back to Thornhill. Carew with it, has a block by Hardenberg. Jack Pease gets it down low to Hardenberg, loses it for a second, back to Pease. Peters in the corner, unable to get to go. A couple of Scots fighting over it. 2 seconds left on the clock. Jack Pease throws up a three. Off the rim and no good.
Boy, a lot of hustle coming up with some loose balls there. And, again, the Scots had used about the last 45 seconds on that possession to come up with a couple of good looks, unable to convert one. But, again, a great quarter for the Scots, really more defensively than offensively as they were able to outscore 13-5 in that quarter. So, really great job by the Scott defense to set that one up.
We've seen this from the Scots. Go back to the Scott Classic. They had a couple of good defensive games. We're going to talk about the Terrell game again. 7 points is all they allowed in the first half. If we can see that Scott defense all throughout the season, I get that the Terrell team is not what they've been in the past. But with that defensive turnout, this could be a very interesting Scots team to watch throughout the season. As we talk about this, it's going to be a lot of different players scoring, and you mentioned it's probably going to be a different guy every night leading the way.
Yeah, and as I mentioned too, they're long. They just got a lot of length out there with their guards. I mean, you're playing some pretty good sized guards with Carew and Thornhill, and Peace has such quick hands and anticipation. Hardenberg, I mean, these guys get a lot of deflections, and they're hustling so much, that they can turn those deflections into turnovers and turn those turnovers into fast breaks and score layups off of that. So it's impressive to watch them work on defense. We've seen them in this zone pretty much from about the first 2 minutes in, and that really has been effective. So whatever Coach Snowden, who's kind of the DC of the group, whatever he saw, he certainly got them in it, and they have done a great job. 26 points through 3 quarters.
Not sure how that went, but Devin Vincent able to get it to fall.
Yeah, and a steal on the inbound. This is what I expected to see, a little more backcourt pressure, maybe doing a trap or two off their man stuff, and start to see it a little bit. And again, Coach Watson's trying to encourage them to get back in this game. It's going to happen with the defensive pressure.
And you talk about the length of this Scots team. Just think about once you get a guy like Prince Dorba back into the lineup and he goes into that power forward center role, you can move a guy like Jacob Hager at 6'4" over to a 3 position and play as a guard. That just exemplifies your length that you're going to have on defense. Yeah,
easily. You got to guard a guy like Hager. That's going to open up the middle for Prince and Paxton Anderson and some of the other guys when they get their basketball legs back.
Mitchell Carew with it now. 11-point lead. Highland Park has it, nearing 7 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Jack Pease driving in, has the backboard, able to get it to go. 6 in the game now for the junior, averaging 15 and a half a game.
It just seems like he can get to the paint anytime he wants to. There's another nice job by Lake Needleman on getting the loose ball again. Good job.
A little bit of sloppy play from this young squad of the Lions, but a great block that time. A lot of authority thrown down by Anna Mako as he is able to shut down Worthy Wild's attempt for the basket.
Well, that was great. I thought Worthy had an open lane all the way to the rim, only be rejected when he got there. So good job by the Lions there to get a good stop.
Number 23, John Jones, subs into the game for the Lions as he is another new face on this squad. And some of these Lions fans are wanting a travel call against Worthy Wilds. Not going to make much difference that Jacob Hager ended up missing the three-pointer, and the Lions will bring it up the court now. This one, a great interception by Hager.
Oh, nice
Jack
pass.
Pease trying to take it up, gets the layup to fall.
Boy, nice outlet there by Jacob Hager after making a great play on the defensive end to throw it ahead for an easy layup for Peace.
We saw it early in the first to start the game as a foul is now going to be called. They're going to give it to Lake Needleman. But we saw it earlier in the game in the first, now seeing it in the beginning of the fourth. The transition game is really coming into play for the Scots.
Yeah, it really is. And that defense has set up the offense pretty much the whole game, and they just haven't converted from inside. They've missed a lot of shots. So there's a nice little job using your body right there by Yukaji.
Yukaji will go to the line. He has 2 points in this one. This will be his first 2 free throw attempts. Jacob Hager's going to get called for the foul. The senior picking up his first of the game. But Jacob Hager's had himself a good start here this season. He's averaging almost 5 rebounds a game and 15 points.
Yeah, and a lot of threes, and he's hit only one three coming off a 7-3 night against the Hawks. So he's showing he can do some other things other than just shoot the ball to really help the team be successful.
Second free throw attempt is up and good. So give him 1 of 2 as he now has 3 in this game. Again, one of the few seniors to score for the Lions. Jack Pease with it now, guarded very closely by Yukaji. Worthy Wiles decides not to go back up to Pease. He's going to be guarded. They're giving a lot of pressure here in the man defense as Mitchell Carew gets a 3 from the corner.
Got it.
And it's going to fall. And Carew, after averaging 7 points of a game coming into this one, he has 11 now.
Yeah, with 3 threes tonight, and again, he's just keeps heating it up a little bit after a cold start to the season. Really done a good job.
Great move down low that time by John Jones. He gets the offensive rebound. But that will miss. It's going to get picked up by Anna Mako, and as he goes up for the attempt, it's going to get fouled. Looks like it's going to be called on Jacob Hager, his second in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, and again, that was something the Scots were not giving up, those offensive rebounds, and now we've seen them kind of get a little lax as we've seen a little bit more pressure by the Lions to hit that offensive glass.
First one is able to fall. J.J. Shepard will come into the game for Yukaji.
And he's one we found out before the game that had just gotten moved up from the JV, a kid coming in from football. So one to watch, I'm sure.
Good break of the press this time by the Scots. A little bit too strong of a pass by Wiles. Trying to get it over to Needleman. But able to retain possession, and now Jack Pease with it, driving to the lane. Gives a Euro step, but off the back iron. A little bit too strong that time on the floater. And a good defensive reaction that time. You talk about the quick hands. That time showing off the quick feet, but it's going to be a kickball.
And his athleticism, I mean, that was pretty doggone athletic for the young man to get up in the air and then stick his foot out. Just it helps you reset. Everybody gets to take a breath, and it's not a bad play.
Highland Park leads this one by 16. They've really had to fight for that lead as we've seen the momentum shift a lot between these two teams. The foul's going to go against Mitchell Carew, his third of the game.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a 16-point game, Jackson. It feels closer than that. And the Scots really have just kind of chugged and kind of pulled away from them here in the second half as they continue to do things right on the defensive end.
And I apologize, that foul was actually on Worthy Wiles, as Alex Anamako was able to make the first free throw attempt, as the Lions are now in the bonus.
Yeah, part of hitting that glass so hard gives you a chance to get to the free throw line, scoring when the clock's not running. So that's going to help the Lions here down the stretch.
Brought up past midcourt now is Needleman. Gets it over to Carew. Had a look at an open three, decided not to take it. Trap situation now, but the Lions unable to stick with it. And a good heads-up play that time by Needleman, able to get it over to Pease. Worthy Wiles now in the corner. Foul is going to be called, and it's going to go against number 2, Lucas Palazuela.
There's been a lot worse hand checks than that to get that foul called, I'll promise you that. We'll see if Coach Peeler takes a little air out of the ball here. Sometimes we get an aggressive man-to-man defense. He likes to spread the floor and see what he can come up with. So, boy, nice pass.
That was just a blind man's pass by Worthy Wiles, somehow able to get it to the corner.
Yeah, good defense there by the Lions to turn it away, but you're right. Here we go, spread it a little bit. They like to do this. Use the clock. You got a nice lead. Wear them out a little bit. Go to the free throw line. The Lions have only committed 5 fouls. That'll be number 6.
Foul will be called that time. Waiting to see who it's going to be on number 13, Devin Vincent, his third of the game. Neither team really in foul trouble player-wise. Kind of been spread around as much like the scoring has here in this one. As Highland Park with 7 fouls, 6 fouls called against the Lions as Worthy Wiles gets tripped. No foul called. That one's going to be taken in transition, and Amako able to get it to fall. He has 6 in the game. Coach Peeler not liking the no foul call on that one.
Yeah, that looked like a feet got tangled up. I don't know if that was a trip or what, but he certainly wanted that foul. Here they still spread it out a little bit. 12-point lead here with 3:30 to go. Scott's trying to run some clock. Can't do that.
Worthy Wiles trying to make an extra pass, driving down low.
Oh.
But a charge is going to be called in transition. Able to get his feet set that time was Lake Needleman, and the foul is going to be called.
That's the second charge that Needleman has drawn, and he is, I think he may have gotten away with one on that one, Jackson. I don't know if I would have. I kind of agree with Coach Watson over there. But the Scots will take the break right there, and see if they stay with that spread. You got to take care of the ball against pressure when you spread the floor like that, and the Scots have got to be very, very careful how they handle it, and they're going to get in situations where they're going to get trapped, and they got to make a good, solid pass, and people got to keep moving. I mean, this is something Coach Peeler works all the time, and it's important that they keep moving. They go meet passes. He does a drill where you have to go meet passes, and then he pulls the guys out there to double team, and it's really good. They've trained for things like this to be able to run some clock.
And you and I talked about this during the break at halftime. That first half only took about 30 minutes. With both teams in the penalty with 3.5 minutes left, this second half could drag on.
It could, and again, it depends on how the Lions want to play this. I mean, if they get this thing into single digits, you won't blame them for trying to play the foul game a little bit. The problem I see is that neither team has really had the 3-ball working. So you're going to have to do it kind of maybe with twos the old-fashioned way with some fouls inside. Their physical play, the Lions are playing much more physically inside, coming up with more offensive rebounds, more opportunities inside. They, like the Scots, have just struggled to finish in the paint. And that has to do a lot, I'm sure, with the physical play going on inside by both teams.
And this Lions squad could be looking at a very different game, but maybe some rush shots in transition or too many threes taken off when you could have had a little bit more ball movement. But this young team we talked about could maybe just let the game come to them a little bit more. But with 3 minutes left, it looks like Coach Peeler is going to slow it down a lot as Worthy Wiles has it. It's going to get batted out of the air.
That's happened to Worthy last couple of times down. You just got to take care of it. No, nice rebound, nice defense by Needleman that time.
Devin Vincent mentioned it, maybe just a little bit of a quick shot taken that time. Mitchell Carew trying to get it past half court. But a lot more physical as we're seeing pressure come up as about 3/4 of the way back now by the Lions. It's 2:45, a trap.
There's
now.
That trap. Coach saw it. He saw it, didn't like it, calls timeout.
Good heads-up call that time by Coach Peeler. I think Jack Pease thought there was a foul called. He went up to the free throw line thinking he was going to take 2 shots.
Again, we've seen the Scots turn it over 3 times in a row, and it's still a 12-point game. I mean, the Lions have been unable to take advantage of those turnovers and get it a little closer to the Scots. So, both teams are in the bonus, and if they're going to trap like that, that's going to be their chance to get back in it. But they got to finish, and the Scots have got to take care of the ball. And now it's important they make free throws.
Again, a lot of credit needs to go over to Coach Watson right now. He does. We've talked about it. He has a very, very young team, and this Scott team, who they like to get out and run. They want to put the pressure on any opponent. It's only a 12-point game, and you talk about it. It doesn't feel like it's that big of a lead by the Scots.
It really doesn't. I mean, I looked up a second ago, and it was 16 points, and it just didn't feel like it. Didn't have the atmosphere of it. Certainly didn't have the attitude from the Lions. They're playing as hard as they can, like it's a 2-point game. So. Jack Pease he's the guy you want having the ball. He's a 90% free throw shooter. It's the guy that you want on the floor right now. It looks like it's going to be Needleman that's going to go to the line.
Foul will be called. Waiting to see who they call it on. Looks like it's going to be Palazuela, as it's only his second of the game. But going to the line will be Lake Needleman. He is already 2 for 2 in this one. Comes in shooting 70% from the line. He has 7 points in the game. First free throw is up and is good, so he'll get a second attempt to give him now 8. Second attempt is up, a little bit strong, unable to get the friendly roll. It's going to be no good. Under 2.5 minutes now remaining in the fourth. 3 is going to be thrown up, and a great shot that time on the outside by J.J. Shepard, as he will get his first 3 of the game.
Yeah, that's great. Here's a trap right there. They're going to burn another timeout.
Timeout being burned. Lake Needleman, a good heads-up play that time, not trying to force a pass in the opponent's end of the court. Instead, we'll call a timeout. I know with Coach Peeler, he's not going to want to give up a timeout, but you'd much rather see that than a turnover.
Yeah, right now, that's for sure, and it leaves them with just 1. And you're going to get trapped more than once in these next 2 minutes and 11 seconds. So you got to be prepared to handle that trap, step through it, make the quick reversal once you get the ball in bounds. Usually that's where the trapper's coming from. So I'm sure he's reminding them that they're in the kind of the old UCLA 1-2-1-1 trap. So they're going to try to trap that first pass, and you got to reverse it quick or have an alley runner over the top. So it's important that he just kind of reviews that. These, again, things they talk about, things they work on. Just got to review with them a little bit. Here's the way we're going to attack this. And if they do that, you might see a little bit more aggressiveness on the offensive end. If they get a layup, get a chance to break the pressure, go ahead and take it to the rim and try to score. So we'll see how they play it, though. Again, they may just say we're going to try to win this at the free throw line and just keep shooting free throws.
And that might not be a bad plan. When you look at the starters, you got Lake Needleman 70% from the line, Jack Pease 88%. Mitchell Carew, believe it or not, is actually the worst of the starters. He's at 60%. So this starting 5 is good from the line, and that should be who you would have out for these tough minutes here at the end of the game.
Right, and here we go with another set that they have. Carew's got it, and he'll get trapped right here. Here he comes. There's the trapper.
Carew able to get across midcourt over to Lake Needleman, who gets it back to Carew. Another trap coming at the half court. Able to get out of it well. Hager gets it over to Needleman. Back to Hager. He's now with it. Down low to Hager. Tries to battle through a block that time, but good defense by J.J. Shepard.
You just didn't need to do that, Jackson. You didn't need the shot. It was a contested shot inside. It's not like a wide open layup, so you just don't need that.
Jack Pease will get called for a block. Going to the line now is going to be number 20, J.J. Shepard, as he will get his front end of the 1-and-1. Both teams with 8 fouls now in the game. Front end is no good, but it's going to be an offensive rebound by the Lions.
Yeah, that's a big offensive line. And a nice find right there. Fry was able to break down the baseline for the nice look. Scott's inside of single digits now, 8-point lead. Oh,
Jack Pease tries to go for a floater, but it's going to be blocked by Anamako. Anamako tries to do a pass, but Pease is going to knock it out of play. Time getting tight now. It's an 8-point lead by the Scots. Minute 25 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Again, you don't need that contested shot. You still got the lead in the ball. Clock is your friend. You're going to go to the free throw line. Defense steps up. Nice deflection there by Worthy Wiles. Going to get trapped.
Back to help is Jacob Hager, taking it to the half court. It's going to be fouled. Looks like it. Waiting to see who it's called on. And Amekwe will get the foul called, his second of the game. That one, though, very easily could have gone on J.J. Shepard as well, as Hager will get his first free throw attempt of the game. And nice. It is good. Nothing but net, so he'll get another, and that will extend the lead out to 9 for the Scots.
Yeah, these front ends of 1-and-1s are so crucial. I mean, even if you just don't want to come away empty, even if you miss the second one, you want to come away with some points, and Jacob's one of the better shooters, pure shooters on the team, so it's kind of one of those guys you don't mind seeing at the line.
And he will make the second. He now has 9 in this game, actually second on the Scots for scoring, being led only by Mitchell Carew, who's having himself a good game with 11. These McKinney fans not liking a no call that time, but a good pass down low, and Anna Makeway is going to be able to get the fall.
Boy, nice pass inside and good finish. Oh, there's another turnover. Going to call a jump. It's going to go to the Lions on the alternate possession. Inside of 44 seconds here, and it's still a ball game. It's an 8-point game. Anything could happen. Scots just continue to have trouble with pressure. Thought we'd see it a little earlier than we did here in the fourth quarter.
Drive coming in low that time is Devin Vincent. He is able to get it to fall, and it's going to be a timeout called.
Yeah, the Lions get a chance to set up their defense, and boy, what a great little turn of events there as Scots were unable to get the ball up in the front court. And 2 really forced shots that they just did not need. I don't understand why they keep pushing that like that. But that's the only thing that gets you beat in something like this. If you have the ball, go shoot free throws and score. And that was really kind of ill-advised, I think.
49-43, Highland Park leads this one. 33.4 seconds remaining on the clock. Highland Park with 1 timeout. McKinney with 2. McKinney also has 9 fouls, 1 more foul, and Highland Park will get 2 guaranteed free throws every time they go to the line. Highland Park still has 2 more fouls before they get to that point.
Yeah, and they got to figure out a way to get the ball in the front court, and they've been struggling with that. Again, you got to get trapped, got to move the ball quick, keep it off the floor. This would be one of those times where, the Coach Beeler's going to say, look, this is like those drills where we do it. You can't dribble. You got to be able to reverse it, throw it. Don't put it on the floor. That gives the defense time to come and double team you and have your eyes up and come and meet the pass. Don't sit there and wait on it because they're going to jump in the passing lane and intercept it. I would say if they don't get a steal in the front court, they're going to have to play the foul game here. Still only a 6-point game, so they can play a little defense. Scots may pull it out, and that's when you have to foul.
If there is anything that goes in the Scots' favor,
fans don't know the rules.
Foul's going to be taken. Jack Pease will go to the line. Foul's going to be called on number 13, Devin Vincent, his 4th of the game.
Again, that's kind of a new twist they put on really from the end of last year, where they throw it from after a made basket. You can run the baseline, so you have a complete liberty to bring it in from wherever you want to, and of course you can throw it across the lane out of bounds like that. And boy, 2 big free throws there by Jack Pease.
Pease now with 10 in the game, 21 seconds remaining. Very low-scoring game right now. Good pass again down low, as we've seen Anamako really come on strong here in this fourth quarter with a lot of baskets taken down low. He now is in double figures.
Yeah, he really has looked great inside. And, after just a 3-point, hitting a 3 ball in the first half. He's got 8, 9 points here in the second, so he's really come on to do a great job with 12 total and been tough inside. I mean, I'm glad he didn't spend a lot of time inside in the first half, because he's been very effective inside.
This is turning into a much tighter game than it was early. Again, we saw this last week out against Hebron. They were winning by Highland Park was leading by 15 in the third. This time we saw, you talked about a 16-point lead in the third, and it's now back down to a 6-point game.
Yeah, they struggled with this last year. It's trying to handle pressure, backcourt pressure from your traps, from just a tough man-to-man defense. They've struggled with this, and these are kind of things that are hard to replicate in practice. This athleticism of athletes at Hebron and athletes at McKinney. It's just hard to replicate that for the Scots to understand what it's going to be like. So it's important that they get it in bounds again and try to make something happen. They're going to have to foul if they don't get a steal in the backcourt. So Scots are going to all be along the baseline again. Just kind of a new look that they have to do this.
Jack Peace will inbound. He will very quickly be double teamed. I think he was looking for the jump ball, which would have stayed with Highland Park just trying to take clock off. But a foul's going to be called as we wait to see who's going to get called against. Looks like it's going to be Palazuela. It'll be his third of the game. But Jack Peace, an 88% free throw shooter, is going to go to the line as he is already 2 for 2 today.
Yeah, he hit 2 big ones earlier and has another 2 big ones here. This is a 6-point game. This kind of feels like that 6-point game more so than that 16 earlier.
He's now 3 for 3 as the first one is able to hit the rim, get a friendly roll, and go in. And the second is nothing but net. He now has 12 here, under 10 seconds remaining in the fourth. Quick shots are going to have to be taken by McKinney. A long 3 thrown in off the side rim, blocked that time. And not much effort being shown on the rebound. Mitchell Carew will get credit for it, but that will do it here from Highland Park High School. The Scots win this one 53-45 over the Lions of McKinney, but a tough outing there in the fourth quarter alone, as McKinney really made this a tight ball game.
They really did, and this is probably one of those things that's good to remind your team that defense comes to play every night, and you've got to be able to compete defensively. And even when nights when your offense isn't really clicking, and this was definitely one of those nights where the offense just wasn't clicking, missing a lot of shots. Both teams really, but talking about the Scots here, miss a lot of shots inside, weren't hitting a lot of threes, but your defense kept you in the game. The defense kept you pulling you away. So it's a good reminder to the kids that if you're going to be successful, you're going to have to play great defense. So that's going to be the important lesson to be learned from all of this.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Peeler, one thing I'd also be proud about is the free throw shooting very well from the line. In fact, only 3 missed free throws all game by the Scots, doing very well. Of course, Jack Pease there in the last minute, knocking down 4. Very tough attempts late, as that was really able to extend this one, give Highland Park a little bit more breathing room as they end up winning this one by 8. But Highland Park will move to 5-3 on the year. McKinney will fall to 4-3, but a good showing by Highland Park, even though late it got a little bit closer than they would have liked. But Coach Peeler will have enough to talk about tomorrow in practice, and we'll see some of those football players rotate into the lineup.
Yeah, I think we'll start to see that, a little bit of change in rotation and get them kind of back in the groove of things. It's hard going from football to basketball, completely different energy level and speed requirement and quickness. So it'll be some time before we actually see them hit their stride. We saw the Scots go on about a 14-game winning streak to win district and then go into the playoffs. So they got really hot when those guys start to get in the program. Unfortunately, they're here a little earlier than they were last year, so it may be a little quicker. Maybe by tournament time, holiday time, they should be ready to go.
So Highland Park will be back in action this Friday, December 6th, as they will take on St. Mark's. That should be a very interesting matchup. You talked about it, a rivalry game. But, again, thank you for everyone tuning in to watch this one. This game brought to you by Game On Sports Production with all of our production crew. Coach Clark, my name is Jackson Donovan. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back, as Coach Clark will actually be solo on Friday, as unfortunately I will not be here. But tune in on Friday as, again, Highland Park takes on St. Mark's. Have a good evening.